it's a great question, and it's my favorite topic as well, Zubin. So it's like, just imagine the power of the systems, 80s, late 80s or early 90s, I'll say, or late 90s, the power of the system which we had then to the power of systems now. If you start computing the
My God.
order of magnitude, it's millions of millions. I don't want to say 10 million or 100 million. So the power of computing, the power of storage, the power of networking, the kind of throughput which we are getting out of the systems or the network or from the application has changed manifold, and it will continue to change.
I don't think people even have an idea, right? How slow it was once upon a time. I think so much gets taken for granted now, you know.
Absolutely right. So when we are in the famous networking, I set up the first one of the earliest gateways from BSNL from India. I used to be a protocol called BGP those days. It used to give a great kick in setting up an external system, and which is basically a routing system to connect to an external world. So that used to be 2 Mbps, right? So and
Yeah.
here we are talking in order of 10 times or 20 times, 100 times even in many places, even in our mobile devices. But just to come back to your core point, right? We are in a computing age where this is going to be age of too much of information. So there is an Einstein at your desk. Okay. So I would put that as just imagine the computer vision is better than a human vision today. If I make that statement, it's a very, very powerful statement. So what does it mean? Right? And the computer vision is going to be a powerful machine. So vision. So what does it mean to you and me? It may say, oh, okay, KSG, it's fine, great. A computer can see it better. But just imagine, apply it to a life science scenario or to your doctor and understanding some of the MRI and scans and other systems. So the systems are going to be extremely powerful, right? So there is an age of information, and we are in the age of intelligence, and it's going to be extremely powerful. I always give that example of three things which has happened in the very short period of last 24 months. I try to put that as not in tech buzzword. Just imagine the Google search bar. I have told you that you know the limitation of the search bar. You can't put more than 32 words. Supposing if I tell you that, hey, you can put infinite words in the search bar, and then you can need not put only text. You can put video, you can put audio, you can put pictures, and then and then you say that, hey, and then you can take the feed from the answer and feed it back as the question, as the chain of reasoning thought, and then you start saying that you can create a simple program or a software by a human speaking to a computer, which can convert your text into a computer language and start creating systems by itself. And then you put this all together, you get a powerful engine or a platform. And then whether you call it as large LLMs, whether you call it as agentic AI systems sitting in your environment, doing many sorts of things. So we are getting into a age of intelligence, and the power of these systems is going to create enormous amount of use cases across industries. What matters hence is the knowledge of the industry and usage of the platform, because the technology gets created. You get to see the word service as a software now, right? The S has become inverted, right? Software as a service to service as a software. So, and then you keep one thing in mind, if you come back to your question, I always believe that the next generation is always 2x or 5x more intelligent than the previous generation, right? When I say that, I benchmark it in a matter of decade, right? So if you put decade 1 to decade 2, you will get 5x to 2x, 2x to 5x kind of intelligent change. So you are going to have set of intelligent people coming out from colleges, and you are going to have a large, powerful system which is capable of solving very, very complex problems. So what is important is in understanding some of the domain and industry-related problems. So that knowledge is going to be significant, right? And unlike in our setup, where only technology understanding. So you set up network, you set up data center, you put up large application, you make sure that you have a large mobile device, you have a large mobile ecosystem, you served an application, it's fine. But here, there are a lot of problems which are already solved, right? So you need to contextualize the problem to an industry. So knowledge about the localization of the country and how the country system works, whether it is a B2B system or a citizen system or a B2B setup, and the knowledge about the industry, where it is heading, that becomes a very, very important element in the overall cogwheel. I would always advise to say, hey, connect the larger dots within the industry, learn the technology aspect of it, and then start working in a system. So just give an example. The new company, you will end up recruiting for people as part of your job. A 10-man company with a 1 billion valuation with a zero revenue is a given norm today. All right. So how will you recruit for such a people, right? You wanted to say, somebody says, hey, Zubin, recruit a CEO for such an organization. What skill you will go for, right? So we are getting into a stage where unrealistic kind of things can happen due to technology. And it's a very, very exciting time to be in 20s. I wish I was in 20s. These powerful global platforms, large LLMs, going to throw open larger opportunities for the people. I would say be hungry, learn technology, align that learning to an industry, and then learn that industry very, very effectively. Don't fall into an hierarchical model of learning or a setup, which is no more the case in many of the organizations. So it's going to be, you are going to have the people are smarter, the systems are smarter. So it's a question of putting it all together and staying hungry to learn and be a listener. I was never a great listener in my personal life. You know me very well. But in my professional life, I always listen, right? So it's very, very important to listen to people, experts, define your domain, define your area, pick 20 to 30 game-changing individuals who are thought leaders in that space. Start listening to them, start understanding about the industry, and that will propel their career in a much more 3x or a 5x kind of a more than what they are.